Hey everybody, greetings and salutations. As always, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. Today we are going to stop the wobble. This camper has a 4-point leveling system, and anytime we move around or our Labrador goes from front to back, it just kind of does the old shake and bake, and it's driving both of us kind of crazy. So I'm going to take some material that I have at home. We're going to make some wobble stoppers and stabilize this camper, even though I have some scissor jacks in between the tires, not cutting it. So we're used to the 6-point hydraulic leveling system, which is a lot more stable. So I'm going to take you along on the adventure today while we make some wobble stoppers for this camper. Going to show you how to install them. We're going to do it cheaply. You can do this yourself at home with material you have sitting around. So ride along. Come on, let's go. Alright guys, so on this camper we're kind of fortunate because we have dual slides at the back of the camper, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to design them so they're going to come right underneath the slide, so they'll be out of the way. And what we're going to do is we're going to get up inside this I-beam and we're going to make some wedges. So here's your I-beam. We're going to design these so they fit right up under there and come down onto the ground and stay ratcheted together. We're going to do some for the front and back. So let's go find some material and get those cut up. So here we have a glass of water sitting on my desk at the back of the camper, and I'm just going to step from side to side. And you can see that water, whoa, just moving in that glass. You can hear the blinds smacking up against the window even, and I'm not moving that much. So when you get our dog moving around, or the wife or I moving around front to back, get a lot of roll, a lot of shake. All right guys, so here's all you're going to need for this job. I've got two 8-foot 2x4s here. I already had sitting around in my shop. You can either use regular pine, or if you want treated lumber that you don't have to paint, that's fine too. For me, I want to paint these black after I'm all done. You're going to want your tape measure and a pencil, a saw to cut with of your choice, and 4 of these guys right here. These are eye hooks, eye bolts, whatever you want to call them. This one here is 3/8 in diameter. The shank on this is about 2 1/4 inches long, which is plenty to go through a stud. So what we're going to do, like I showed you earlier how to measure for your camper. On mine, I'm going to cut these at 4 feet a piece, and we're going to put angles on the ends, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. All right, kiddies. So again, for my camper, I'm going to cut these at 4 feet. So now we have 4 pieces, 2 for the front, 2 for the back. Now I'm going to show you the angles we're going to put on here. So you're going to take all 4 of your boards. We're going to put a 45 on them. Now you guys that were doing this on YouTube, I guess I can't understand. You're laying your board flat and then setting your compound miter saw all the way down to come in this way. I don't get it. Anyway. When we cut out in the field, we just turn our board on its side and we cut our 45. And now, kids, we're going to do a double miter on the other end. So here's what you're going to want to see on the other end of the board. So just a straight miter on one end, a double miter on the other, because this one is going to shove up inside your I-beam. The lip of your I-beam is going to come over this for support, so that board gets wedged up inside there. That part is going to sit flat to the ground and give you that stability angle. All right, now we're going to drill our holes, you guys, for the eye hooks. So from the bottom of your board, you can either do this off the high angle side or the inside low angle side, doesn't really matter. We're going to measure about 8 inches. You want to stay in that 8 to 9 inch range. Reason being is the bottom of this is going to be the anchor point, and the object is at a little bit of the lower point. It's going to pull those tight into the ground, and that's what's going to give you that stability. The top's already going to be wedged against the I-beam of your main frame. So again, come up from either the high or low side of your cut, doesn't really matter. Come up about anywhere from 7 to 9 inches. And we're going to drill that 3/8 hole to accommodate our eye hooks. All right, boys and girls, so when you're all done, you should have 4 pieces, depending on your camper where I showed you where to measure. Mine are going to be 48 inches. So when you're all said and done, you're going to have 4 pieces that have a full 45 on one end, that have a double 45 on the other end. And if this helps for reference, if this is your angle, the inside of your angle is where you want your eye hook to be, or your eye bolt to be. Again, because this is going to sit on the ground at an angle just like this, your ratchet strap's going to hook to these and go straight across to the other one, and you're going to pull those together. I'm going to show you one other thing that I'm going to do differently that I didn't see some of the other guys doing for a little bit extra stability in case you're on softer ground. So, being a contractor in construction, I've always got a lot of extra material sitting around. So I took a brown treated 1x6 and I cut 6-inch blocks out of it for ground shims. So, because the campsite we're on right now, and sometimes others, the back of my camper is right on the grass, right on the edge of the grass. So I wanted something so when I put these to the ground, it's going to sit underneath it, and when I pull it tight, it's not going to dig into the ground. So if you got some extra 1x material sitting around, cut yourself a couple of 6-inch blocks that you can put right underneath that leg support, like so. All right, guys, so here is the fruit of our labor. Here's the concept. The double angled end up against the I-beam of your frame, okay? And the 45 degree down on the ground on that little board that I showed you. We got the same one set up across there. We're gonna take our ratchet strap and we're gonna feed it through there. We're gonna hook them together and tighten up. All right, guys, so you can see we have our ratchet strap hooked up there and to the opposing end over there. Now we're gonna just snug these down. And since we're on grassy ground here, I'm going to go snug. Typically, if you're on a hard packed surface, you don't have to go super tight on these. There we go. Well, just like a guitar string. Boing, 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 banjo, take your pick. So there you go. Those are tightened down. Now we're going to do the same thing to the front. So here we are at the front of the camper. Now the one by the steps here, I elected to go back a little ways, but same premise. Up inside, you're going to connect it right under your I-beam. This one I'm not going to put a plate on the bottom because I'm down on the asphalt. We're going to do the same thing to the other side, and then we're going to test it. So we have all four corners pinned with our wobble stoppers. There's a glass of water again. I'm going to start bouncing back and forth. See how she does. Well, I would say probably took about 70-75% of the movement out. I am rocking myself hard side to side. I can't even get the blinds to smack against the window like they were before. So, seems to be somewhat successful. Well, there you have it, guys. So basically for about $10 worth of eye bolts, washers, I had a couple 2x4s laying around. Kay and I both went up and down the camper, created movement, jostled around, and definitely a difference. At least 70%, maybe 75-ish better than without having those wobble stoppers underneath. So a quick do-it-yourself fix for a very cheap amount. So if you got a couple 2x4s laying around, go to your local hardware store, or just pick a few studs up from Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you shop. Follow those instructions and you will take a lot of the wobble out of your camper. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one.